Hello and welcome to our channel. This video provides a sneak peek into one of our training sessions. The idea is to spell out the topics covered in that session. We are providing trainings in SOA, OSP, BPM, OBIE, ADF, and WebLogic. All these trainings are conducted by trainers having 6 to 10 years of real-time experience.
So in today's session, we will probably talk about these following agenda items. So we'll talk about installation and prerequisite. How do we install all the softwares and things that are required to help us during the training. We'll not go into the depths and breadths of Oracle BPM or BPM in general, but what we will do is we'll talk about what is BPM and why we should do BPM. Now, I'll expect you to understand this, to listen to me very carefully. Why you should listen to me is because when you do a certain training, okay, let me tell you one thing. Why is it very good to listen to what I say is because when you talk about Java, right? When you're doing Java programming or we are doing any technically something surrounded by technical jargons and things like that, then you are most certainly talking with technical teams. When you are doing a BPM project, the word itself has what is called as a business. So which means you'll be talking to business analysts and business stakeholders or even business sponsors to pitch BPM, to tell them what is the importance of BPM, what is the benefits of BPM, because it is very difficult for anybody to talk about the benefits and tangible benefits and importance of BPM. So if you are going to do a BPM project, you have to position yourself, or what I call as sell yourself, as people who actually know what BPM is and how it is going to help people make a difference in the organization. So you have to understand what's and why of BPM. Now, the BPM as a technology or BPM suite as a technological product is fundamentally different from SOA and OSB, because SOA and OSB are very integration specific. So they talk about plugging things together, integrating systems together, creating software assets that are reusable. So they deal about all of those stuff, whereas BPM is more business focused. What you can do, how you can design your processes, how you can create your business processes so that they serve the core purpose of your business. So and whatever you develop are very close to the business. What you do in SOA and OSB, they're not very close to business, though they are essential, but they're not very close to business. But what you do in BPM suite is artifacts that you create are very close to business. So they are, in most of the cases, things you can share with your business sponsor. Whereas, for example, if you have created an OSB pipeline or if you have created a SOA composite, you can't share those kind of things with your business. Whereas if you have created a process model which you want to implement in Oracle BPM suite, you can actually share them with your business. So it is very essential to first of all understand what is BPM, and then how to do BPM. So and then as you know, as a consultant or as a person who will be involved in this training or who will be involved in implementing solution using this product, you should be probably well versed in pitching the importance and benefits of this technology.
Arun, can I interrupt a little bit?
Absolutely. Just let me complete, and then
Sure.
the floor will all be yours.
Hmm.
Okay. So let me go over the things in the agenda, and then I would probably I would actually much rather have you guys speak more and participate more, and I kind of like when people do interrupt me and then they do actually question, because all I want is questions and more questions from you in this training. So the more communicative we can actually have this training, the more better it will be for all of us. But just like Kinshuk, I'm sorry to cut you here, but just let me cover these agenda items in one go, and then we'll probably have you ask me your questions. Will that be okay?
Sure. Absolutely.
Fine.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Kinshuk. So on the same lines, we'll actually talk about perspectives of BPM. So what does a BPM mean to a business sponsor? What does a BPM mean to a process analyst or a business analyst? What does a BPM mean to a developer? Or what does a BPM mean to all stakeholders of the business? Because BPM, and you would probably be surprised in this training program, that when you talk about when an organization adopts BPM, they are talking about a radical change in their organization structure or the way in which they do things. Trust me, this is how every guru of BPM would actually tell you about that BPM is an organizational change rather than just an implementation of a technology. So we would actually see the various different perspectives that are associated with the word BPM, and specifically when you try to, so if you are indeed part of any organization who is trying to roll out BPM, you would actually see there is so many there's so much going on in the organization. There's so much circulation happening that you would bound to actually notice things that things are happening differently, or things are progressing in a different way than they are in other kind of projects. So we'll talk about that in a little bit in today's training, so that it kind of gives you a context of learning the technology and also pitching it. So what is essential is learning something and also be able to pitch it to somebody in your organization. So what will this training teach and cover? I'll talk about what will this training teach and cover, and what you have to do apart from this training. So what I'm trying to say is training programs are just like a kickstart. A trainer will probably be helpful to you to break the initial barrier required to jump to a territory. But and I would probably try to handhold you as much as possible. But the duration of this thing would not be infinite. So what you have to do is you have to do a lot of things of your own if you really intend to master this technology. And trust me, this is very niche. So if you are able to understand this and do whatever I tell you, then you would probably be benefiting yourself the most. So trust me on this. So just try to take out time after the training sessions to do what I tell you, because I would probably give you a lot of use cases to implement, which I can review if you do implement them. So that will actually help you do a lot of things outside of this training program, which will probably help you solidify your understanding, and also come back to me with more questions and more doubts that you may have. So the next point is, how will this training help you? So I've been talking about these things. How will this training help you? It'll help you in 2 or 3 ways for sure. It'll help you implement any BPM project of any kind in your organization. It'll help you take the BPM implementation certification, and it will help you. So if you're looking for any BPM interview, or for example, in your company or outside of your company, this training will probably help you there as well. So you would learn all the basics and essentials, and probably some intermediate stuff of BPM as well as part of this training. Now, I would like, and always stop me if you don't like my approach, or if you would like to have a different approach. I would like to cover as much as possible, but I would probably be restricted by the time that I have. So what I will do is, I would actually ask you to do a lot of things when we have a break between the training schedules. So, for example, we have trainings on Saturday and Sunday. So I try to cover as much as possible, and then throw everything to you so that you can actually go and do more during the week. But so that is one approach. The other approach is I try to cover as less as possible, but in as much detail as possible, which means you would actually learn things, and you would learn very small amount of things, but you would learn them very well. So we can probably take either of the approach. So I'm not very fussed about one. I don't have a preference, but I would probably start to do something, and then I'll probably take your feedback and see how it goes from there. Things to do post training is what I've already covered here. So as I said, you can actually do certifications, or you can actually do projects based on this training. What I try to do in this training is also teach you a lot of best practices and design and architectural practices which you should follow in a BPM project. So as I said, I don't believe in textbook trainings which just throws handouts, which I believe is essential, which I would also be doing. But I don't say I'm not a big fan, though it is essential, but I'm not a big fan of this. So I would probably be during this session, what I would be doing is I'd probably try to speak as much as possible on the ways that you should adopt to do things in the right way, and share all my all the things that I learn every day in my project with you folks. So expectation from the attendees, I just like to briefly know from you what is your expectation from this training, which I probably do right after I end up, so as to have a better picture of what you want from this training, and expectations of the trainer. So my expectation is very clear. I expect you to take initiative in terms of asking questions, in terms of communicating during the class, after the class, and also doing things on time. So nothing frustrates me more than people, I give some work and then you don't do it, because if I take out 3 or 4 hours of my time for a training, I just do it for monetary benefits. Truth be told, there is no other incentive for me. Rather, the other incentive for me is obviously I'm passionate about these things, as you would know, and I would love to have more people working on these technologies and do great. But then the incentive that you may have is actually far more than what I have. So you are investing your time and your money. So invest it in the right way. So just try to put extra efforts. I know you're busy. No one is actually a college graduate. So everyone is working. Everyone would have their projects and everyone have their pressure. But if you are committing to a training program, then you have to commit. You have to go that extra mile. So you have to probably work on the exercises that I give. So hope that's very clear from my side. So that's pretty much the agenda that we will probably stick to today, and then we will go into more details in the following week. So that's it from my side. If you have any questions around these things, or if you'd like to add some, delete some, or if you have any other questions, please feel free to share it now.